7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You'll never have the sacred stone.
Oh, this you crazy mother.
Hey everybody. Listening to little Miles Davis. And I felt in the mood to do a Facebook Live. I did one yesterday, but for some reason I don't know why the post didn't stay up, so I decided to do it again. So today we're going to be talking about mentoring, and just wanted to tell you a little bit about that because I mentioned, or at least I did a post anyway, about that earlier in the week, and I promised one of my pre-meds that I would do a Facebook Live about it. So here it is. So anyway, first let me introduce myself. My name is Dr. Renee Volney-Darko. I'm your favorite pre-med mentor, and I specialize in empowering pre-meds to overcome challenges of getting into medical school. That's what I do. And if you're in my Strategic Pre-Meds Facebook group, you know that's what I try to do. And I encourage you that if you're not in the group already, so go ahead and put a request in to join. So, in any case, let's get to talking about mentoring. So what does it mean to be a good mentor, and what does it mean to be a mentorable pre-med? So I'm going to cover actually 3 points about each. First, being a good mentor. If you're going to be a good mentor, first thing that you want to do is you want to be open to sharing knowledge. Okay? Sharing what you know. That's what pre-meds are coming to you for. Anybody that you're mentoring is going to be coming so that you can basically share in whatever it is that you know. So in the case of being pre-med, they want to know, how'd you get to med school? How'd you become a doctor? What was residency like? What were the interviews like? That kind of stuff. So that's number one, is sharing the knowledge that you already have. Number two, being available and being approachable. If you're available and you're approachable, then you'll most likely have a very good mentoring relationship with whomever your mentee is, because they'll feel like they can come to you and they can ask you whatever it is that they need to ask you. Now, being a physician can be very time consuming, can be very, you can be very busy, but at the same time, if you take a little bit of time to let someone know that, hey, I'm here for you, let's talk, what's on your mind, they'll appreciate that, and they'll be better for it. Their journey will be better for it. Simple enough, right? So number three, finally, is to be compassionate. Got to be compassionate as a mentor. You're going to encounter a lot of mentees who, have some challenges. You may have had challenges yourself, so you may understand their challenges. You may not have had challenges, but it doesn't mean that you can't be compassionate to the plight of others. So, pretty simple being a good mentor, right? Sharing your knowledge, being approachable and available, and then being compassionate. Now, let's move on to being a mentorable pre-med. So, I actually did a blog post about this on my website, premedstrategies.com. So, being a mentorable pre-med, really important because it can't all just be on the mentor. Okay? So if you're a pre-med, you need to be a mentorable pre-med. And too many times, I see that a lot of pre-meds don't have a mentor. And so there are two sides to every coin. So there are many reasons for this. But to be a mentorable pre-med, the first thing you got to realize is it's your responsibility to establish that relationship. You have to be the one to come out to the mentor and say, hey, I want you to be my mentor. All right. Now, I was actually talking to a mentee of mine. She's now a third-year pediatric resident. I've been mentoring her since she was pre-med. And so we've gone through this pre-med journey, medical student journey, now resident journey. And when she first met me, I was doing a talk actually on personal statement, how to do your personal statement. And she came up to me and she said, I want you to be my mentor. And I thought, okay, that's fine. And that's what I told her. I said, all right, fine. Well, she really, really put in the work and the effort to establish the relationship with me. And doing that actually helped me to realize that she was very serious about her journey. And so we've been mentor and mentee since then. So your responsibility, you have to contact that person. You have to update them, let them know what's going on, show them that you yourself are interested in having them as a mentor. Number 2, you have to have patience and persistence. Remember, I talked about being a good mentor involves being approachable and available, and that, physicians can be pretty busy people. Well, yeah, if they're busy, then that means you have to be patient and you have to be persistent, right? Because when I come home after a 24-hour call, all I want to do is pass out, okay? So I may not get to your email or the voice message that you sent to me or anything like that. Be persistent and be patient. Now, if you're persistent and you're patient, then you will find that it will be easier, much easier to establish that relationship. Okay? Now, obviously, persistence doesn't mean you want to be stalkerish. Don't be a stalker. Okay? But be persistent, because chances are, again, the more that you are involved in establishing the relationship, the more the relationship will flourish. And then lastly, for being a mentorable pre-med, lastly is going to be engage your pre-med mentor in the process, in whatever process that you're engaging in. So, for example, if you are applying to medical school, the last thing you want to do is tell your mentor, hey, I applied to medical school and they didn't know anything about it. Okay? You want to engage them in that process as you're going through the process. All right? I've definitely been in the position where a mentee of mine has come to me and said, yeah, I applied to medical school. And I'm like, oh, that's great. And then they start asking me questions and I'm like, well, it's a little bit too late for me to give you some advice on that particular thing because you've already done it. And that actually happened to my mentee. She actually has a mentee of her own who applied to medical school and then was like, hey, what do you think about my personal statement or whatever? And she's like, well, there's really nothing I can tell you about it because you already submitted it. So good luck with that. Okay? So engage your mentor in the process. It makes them feel valued. It makes them feel like that was the reason, that was part of the reason anyway, that you established the relationship. You sought them out as a mentor because you valued their opinion. You valued the advice that they could give you. If you're going to just do things on your own and not ever involve anybody, it's kind of like, all right, well, what was the point of that? So that's all I have for you today. It's pretty short. And, if you have any questions about being a good mentor or being a mentorable pre-med, certainly you can feel free to post in the Strategic Pre-Meds group. Oh, also, how could I forget? So I do have a segment coming out called Quick Question, Dr. Darko. Okay, and that's going to be on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So I'm going to start this Tuesday with Quick Question, Dr. Darko. And if you go through the Strategic Pre-Meds group, there's a post that I put in there, and there's a link. If you click the link and then ask your question in the link, then I will be sure to get to it when I can. I already have a few questions lined up for Quick Question, Dr. Darko. So, stay tuned every Tuesday and Thursday to see whether or not your question is the one that gets answered. Again, I'm Dr. Renee Volney Darko, and I specialize in empowering pre-meds to overcome challenges of getting into medical school. If you would like to make an appointment with me, For a free consultation, you can go to my website, www.premedstrategies.com.